Hello, friends. I'm James Morrow here with another episode of Busting the Narrative, the show where we look at the truth, lies, and consequences of the mainstream media. And if there is one thing we have learned on this journey, it is this. The mainstream media always gets it right when it comes to its enemies, particularly those on the right who have fallen afoul of whatever the narrative of the day is. It's only those evil conservatives who always get it wrong, so wrong that they need a government-appointed disinformation commissioner straight out of Orwell to keep them in line. Right? Right? Well, let's find out as we go. That's right. Busting the Narrative. Now, it's decision season at the U.S. Supreme Court, which means that the left is now angry about, well, everything, even when they win. Last week, the court rejected a legal challenge from New York healthcare professionals who sued New York State Governor Kathy Hochul over the state's healthcare worker vaccine mandate put in place in August 2021 by her predecessor, Governor Andrew Cuomo, before he resigned in disgrace. But 3 justices said the court should have heard the case, one of those justices being Clarence Thomas, who, in his dissent, cited the plaintiff's claims, and this is important here and you'll see why, that the vaccines were developed with stem cell lines from aborted children. Thomas wrote, quote, "Petitioners are 16 healthcare workers who served New York communities throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. They object on religious grounds to all available COVID-19 vaccines because they were developed using stem cell lines derived from aborted children." Note again, that's Justice Thomas quoting the plaintiffs. Not saying he agreed with them, not saying they were right, just quoting their arguments. But this was too good for the progressive media, which immediately touted the claim as Thomas's own. Here's news service Axios reporting that, quote, "Clarence Thomas suggests COVID vaccines are made with aborted children." Pretty big claim. But it was also made by NBC, which reported, quote, "In a sharply worded dissent, Justice Clarence Thomas expressed support Thursday for a misleading claim that all COVID vaccines are made with the cells from, quote, aborted children." Now, sorry NBC, he didn't express support. He just cited the argument. Honestly. Politico.com did the same thing, saying that Clarence Thomas claimed in a dissenting opinion that COVID vaccines are derived from the cells of, yes, you guessed it, aborted children. Wrong. So wrong they wound up deleting the tweet that was all about. Now, happily, there has been some pushback. Writing in the Washington Examiner, Tim Carney said, quote, "The whole incident is a perfect example of how much of the liberal media live in a liberal echo chamber and are willing to abandon standards and believe anything that makes pro-lifers look bad." Indeed. But remember at the start of this, when we mentioned the Biden administration's very Orwellian-sounding Disinformation Governance Board? Well, check this out. Here's someone else, Cindy Otis. Who knows who she is, but she has a Ukraine flag in her Twitter handle, so she must be a good person, tweeting the political lie about Clarence Thomas and the vaccines and the cells. Now, look closely. Check out who retweeted it. Yes, Nina Jankowitz, who was unsuccessfully put up just a few months ago by the Biden administration to run their Disinformation Governance Board. Yes, let's make sure that we've got this straight. Former Disinformation Governance Board Director Nina Jankowitz retweeted a tweet claiming that Clarence Thomas was spreading misinformation based on a tweet that Politico had to delete because it was spreading misinformation about Clarence Thomas. Got that? Well done, Nina. You who once claimed to know so much about disinformation that you rewrote the lyrics to Mary Poppins to teach us all about it. Take it away, Nina, and I'll see you next week on Busting the Narrative.
Be quite ferocious, it's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So, disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie when Rudy Giuliani shared that intel from